Okay, so say I gave you an exercise to count from 1 to 20 in the black console window. So, your basic beginner naive approach might be to do something like this. First of all, I'm going to hold down Control and hit L, and that deletes a line, or it cuts the line, and so I could paste that line a bunch. But anyway, if you hit Control Shift L, that actually deletes the line without cutting it. I'm going to get rid of all these lines. So the naive way of counting from 1 to 20 is, I'd say, console dot right line 1, and then I would cut this line, paste it a bunch of times, and then change this to a 2, and change this to a 3 and 4, and so on and so forth. But as I want to show you, you can actually have the computer do the counting for you if you instruct it to do so. So what I'm going to do is declare a variable called int I, and I'm going to start it out at 1. And I'm going to say while I is less than or equal to 20, and then note I put curlies here to denote another block of code. In here I'm going to say console.write line, and I'm going to say print I, or write line I, and then I'm going to come around here and say I gets whatever i's value is plus 1. So looking at this, I will start at 1, and this while thing is called a loop, or a looping condition, and basically it runs this test, and if this test is true, it will execute what is in its code body, which is between the curly braces. So just at the end, I'm going to say console.writeLine done, and if you noticed, I used a Visual Studio trick there. Basically, if I say CW and then I hit tab, so tab twice, it'll fill in the console.writeLine for me. Anyway, kind of fun, kind of easy, kind of cool. So let's run this first and just see. Oh, look, it counted from 1 to 20. Less than or equal to, this is just like what you saw in math. As long as the value on the left is less than or equal to 20, then this whole highlighted area is an expression, and it returns true. And as long as true shows up right there, essentially that value true that I showed you with booleans in the last video, then it will execute this body of code. So I'm going to hit F11 and not F10 because that stops the recorder. And if you notice, I starts out at 0. It's actually undefined technically, but I starts out at 0. I hit F11 and I is 1. And if you look at this, we say, well, is I less than 20? Well, 1 is less than 20, yes. So it goes into the body, prints I, and then it says I, which is 1, plus 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Stuff that back into I. So it's interesting that we're reading I's value here and then overriding I's value in the same line of code. So this actually takes the value on the right first and stuffs it, puts it, gets whatever you want to call it, into the memory location indicated on the left, which is I. So then we get to the end here and we go back up to our test. And while I, oh, look at that, I is 2, 2 less than 20, yes, repeat. I gets I plus 1, so I is now 3, repeat. And it does this, so on and so forth,